At my hand, girls rescue, met the bar, witness said. Tears fled the head, I'm waiting, I guess she tweet, I guess she confess. She thinking less, not drinking less. Bathroom sex, best to get spontaneous. I stereotype, put to rest tonight. Imagine, believe, and achieve, it works. Skyline as I rise like fireworks. Smell through the bad, don't.
Hey, hello everybody, and welcome to this edition of After the Storm. I'm your host, Matt Clark, and coming to you to talk about the Thunder's 117-123 loss to the Sacramento Kings for the second game in a row. The Kings have now improved to 36-25. The Thunder, on the other hand, are now 28-33. It's pretty frustrating at the moment because without SGA, our best player, our all-star guard, we have lost 3 straight. And since he got hurt, since we lost to Utah, and we should have beat Utah. But of course, he hurt his ankle, and that was kind of the end of that. And the Thunder, remember, we had 25 games after the All-Star break, and we've lost 4 straight. So I predicted us to go 12-13. That is clearly, I mean, I guess it's still possible, but it's going to be a long road to hoe considering who we have to play down the stretch. We've got to play Phoenix 3 more times with Kevin Durant. So I'm not sure how that's really going to play out for the Thunder, but another tough loss for us. Like I said, we just, without SGA, we don't have playmakers. We don't have guys who can score. Josh has not made the jump that he needs to make as far as being our second guy. I mean, he needs to make that jump. And, Dort is trying to do it, and he just does not have the skill set. J-Dub is working on it, but he is still a rookie, and he doesn't quite have the game to do what he knows needs to be done, and he's trying, but he definitely is more capable than Lou Dort. And Lou Dort led us in shots the other night, and we lost. And he's shooting 11. Only took 11 shots tonight, but it's the shots he takes. He's attacking the basket full speed, out of control. Into the half, we're trying to get a 2-for-1. He goes barreling down full court, and I'm just like, what are you doing? And then they run out of bounds play for him. He just came off the bench, and he shoots a fadeaway 3. I'm going, what are you doing? The best 3-point shooter, if you're going to run an out-of-bounds 3, you run it for Isaiah Joe. You don't run it for him. I'm just not going to get into it today, okay? I'm just not going to get there. But anyway, my keys to the game were really simple tonight. Here were the keys. And, of course, if you watched my show, The Unpopular Hour, that we had on today with my guy Drew Henthorn of HuskerDrewPicks.com and my guy, High Stick Harry, Ben Dillman, our hockey guy. We talked about this today. And I said, the Thunder, the keys are always, these are 2 keys that we're going to, I'm just going to keep 3 of them up there at all times. We have to get off to a good start every quarter. We can't afford to give up points right off the bat, which, of course, is what killed us in the third quarter today. We have to play within ourselves, which means understanding what your skill set is. You can't come out and shoot a bunch of threes, which we did tonight. Just came out just launching threes. We had possessions where we'd go 4 straight possession, 5 straight. We're shooting jump shots. Look, dude, they have no shot blockers inside. Why are you not attacking the basket? The game is tight. You got to do that. And then we have to continue to move it at the basketball, because if we're moving at the basketball, we're not standing on the 3-point line waiting for somebody to pass it to us so we can shoot a brick. Okay? And those are the things. When the Thunder are scoring, they're moving without the ball. They're not standing on the 3-point line. They're attacking the basket, cutting to the goal, getting a rebound, finishing at the end. And we left a lot of points at the rim tonight. And then fourth, what killed us Sunday night was we weren't making plays down the stretch. And what happened? We did not make plays down the stretch when the game got tight, and it was 88 all. Or 98 all, they go on a 12-2 run. It's 98 all. And we're down shooting threes again. I mean, look, it's 98-98. How did you get to 98-98? By playing good, solid defense and attacking the basket. That's how you got to 98-98. And then what happens? No, you decide you're going to start shooting a bunch of threes. Now, I thought it was interesting at the end of the game, he did not. He set Dort and Josh Giddey in the last 4 minutes of the game, which I was like, wow. And let's face it, Dort is going to do. He's Russell Westbrook. He's going to make bonehead plays. He's going to try to play out of control. You can't have him in the game. Look, but then a lot of that is coaching. Sit him down and say, look, this is what I need from you. That's all you got to do. This is what I need from you. I don't want you attacking the basket every other play and all that. I don't want you doing all that. If you catch the ball and you got a wide open three, that's fine. You can shoot 4 to 5 threes a game max. You only shoot 10 shots a game max. That's it. And he shot 11 tonight, but he was 4 for 11, very ineffective. But when he starts attacking the basket, doing stuff that he's just not capable of doing. And I've said this over and over and over, and I don't know what the hell they're looking at as a coaching staff. What are you looking at? I mean, there's no way in hell you can tell me you're looking at film and you don't see him out of control. There's no way. There's no way you can say that that's okay. If you're trying to win and you're trying to get the maximum out of this team, how do you not put people in their positions of what to make them successful and to make our team successful? Start the game out, you start with Josh Dort, J-Dub, J-Will, and Isaiah Joe. Of course, SGA is out with his third straight game with an ankle, and it just not having that steady guy to get us buckets when we need him, when the game is on the line and we're needing to make baskets down the stretch. Even though he did not do it, let's face it, I'm gonna call him out. He did not make the plays he needed to make at Utah. Missing free throws that he never misses. I mean, he's a 90-something% free throw shooter, but that kind of stuff happens. And he missed shots that he normally would make that he missed. So that does happen from time to time, but we did not have somebody in there to say, no, quit shooting a bunch of shots. Let's attack the basket. Let's go in the floor of the offense. We're not coming down jacking up every three when we can't do it. I mean, we're shooting it in the crack. We're bouncing it off long. And what do I say all day? Long shots equal long rebounds, equal transitional points, would equal what? The flow of the game. Not for us, for them. And when we did that, that's what happened. But the one thing about them is that, Mike Brown is their coach. And they have the lowest rate of changing up their starting five of all the teams in the NBA. We've had, 25, 30 different lineups. They have the lowest because they said, okay, you, and you, that's our best. We're starting. Now you've got these five down here. I mean, you should have did that from the very beginning. Look, here's our five. This is what we have. Now, Jay Will may have been a little rusty or maybe a little slow, so you still would have had Poku because we were winning when we had Josh Dort, J-Dub, Aaron Wiggins, and Poku. We were winning, and then you stopped playing Aaron Wiggins. But that was back when I don't think we were trying to win. Okay, and then for whatever reason, the mentality changed. I do believe that SGA went in the office and said, "Hey, look, I'm not here trying to tank. Let's win." And then the second thing I've got down here is stop reaching. I mean, you're putting them on the foul line. They were in the bonus with 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. I mean, reach. Move your damn feet. Play good perimeter defense. Slide over, cut off. Everybody's got to help the person next to you. You got to slide off. Play a semi-zone, a matchup zone almost, where guy cuts to the basket, everybody cuts him off, everybody rotates on defense. That's how you beat it. Make them take long shots uncontested with somebody running at them. That's how you beat it. But no, we decide we want to reach instead of moving our feet. With 6 minutes to go, it's 15-27. And all of a sudden you sub in and we've got Sarek, Wiggins, Sarch, Wiggins, J-Dub, Man, and J-Will. And all I ask for Terrence Mann is when you come in the game, why are you launching a 40-foot three? Get at the line. The shot that you made, you're right there at the line. Why are you shooting 4 feet, 5 feet behind the line? 1 foot up, leaning all off balance, shoulders not square. I just don't understand it. He's too good of a player. You're too good of a player to dude, here's your shot. This is where you need to get to. Get to your spot, and you can do it. But the way he shoots, he's all off balance. He's not squared up. Doesn't have his shoulder squared to the basket. Little bitty things. Little bitty things, which of course we do have the best shooting instructor in the NBA. So hopefully he's going to fix Terrence with that. Then it's 21-30 with 4 minutes to go, and you go K. Will for J. Will, Robinson Earl subbing in, Robinson Earl for J. Will, and K. Will in for J. Dub. And like I've said, Robinson Earl, since he's got back, he's just not himself. He's just not himself, but he continues to try to do what he's done all along, and he's incapable. It's like the last fourth quarter, you didn't play J. Will at all. He's a way better three-point shooter and has been than Robinson Earl, but yet you're playing Robinson Earl all these minutes down the stretch, and he's missing key shot after key shot after key shot that he needs to make, and he's not as big as J. Will. Now, I don't know if J. Will is still trying to learn and maybe he's out of position, and you clearly don't trust him, but then there's other games that you do. And when you got SJA out, this is the time that hey, look, we're going with you, big fella. This is what we're doing. Where are we going down the stretch? You in, you out. Robinson Earl's not playing well. He's just not. I love Robinson Earl too, but he's not playing well. Can't play him. And I like the fact you had Lenny Waters on the bench tonight. I thought that was a good thing. You know, he wasn't even suited up, which you can't play the guy. It's not. I mean, I like him. OSU guy, Norman North, great. Can't play him, and he can't play him. You got to win. You can't play G League players when you're trying to win. There's a reason why they're in the G League. There's a reason why they're two-way players. Not doing the stretch down the end of the year, don't play. When you look at the Knicks, they said, here's the 8 or 9 we're playing. Right after Christmas break. What are they? 4th right now. 5th in the East. Why? Because they've got continuity. You know that you're playing. You know you got the minutes. Everybody understands you don't have this guy coming in. You don't have a bunch of a mess. Pick your 9. This is what we're going with, period. Period. This is what we're doing. Stick with it. It's not hard. First quarter, the Kings up 44-38. They were 6 for 10 from the 3. 65%. Yeah, you heard me right. 65% from the field in the first quarter. 65% in the first quarter. 9 rebounds, 18 points in the paint, the Pips. Only 1 turnover. OKC 4 for 8, which is not bad, 50%. But when you multiply it over times 4 quarters, that's 32 free throws. 32 threes. Now, that's not bad if you're going 16 for 32. But, of course, we know the Thunder do not shoot that well. 53% from the field, 10 rebounds, 22 pips. So we're outscoring them in the paint at this particular point. And that's because of the second group that came in. The first group was struggling a little bit. You bring in that second group where you had Man, Wiggins, Sarge, J-Dub, and J-Will. And that's simply because Sarge was just a beast inside. He was in full attack mode, getting M1s and just looking to be aggressive, which is what I have been expecting to see out of him this whole time. Kings bench scoring 12, Thunder at 21. So, the Thunder clearly were down, but yet at the same time, you're only down 6. But you've given up 44 points in a quarter. 44 points, that's just total lack of defense. That's total lack of effort. I mean, the Kings are good, but they're just coming down in transition, getting the bottom court, and Sabonis is just doing whatever the hell he wants. Because we don't really have an answer really for him. Jay Will is okay, but he's just too skilled now. And you remember, Sabonis once was an Oklahoma City Thunder. Traded for him got him from Orlando. And he once was a Thunder. But once again, the person that we had at that particular time that you all really love ran him off. Because that's the guy that y'all wanted. And guess what happened to him the other night? Ty Lue said, sit down. I'm not Scotty Brooks. I'm not Donovan. Sit down. If you're not going to run the play, you're not going to be what you're supposed to. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're not going to be what you're supposed to be. Come sit down. We're trying to win a game here. Which is what Scotty Brooks should have done. Billy Donovan should have done. And I'm sure this guy wasn't going to do it. Because no way he's going to do it. I can promise you that. Start the second quarter. The Thunder start out with K. Will, Wiggins, Robinson Earl, Trey Mann, Okay, I forget Sarge, which is not a bad five to start out the second quarter. But what do? Stop reaching. We come out second quarter doing the same thing, reaching, putting them on the free throw line. And if you keep Sacramento off the line, which is what we did in the second half, you keep them off the line, you make them make shots. They're going to go through their lulls where they can't, but then at the same time, when you make your run, you've got to make shots, keep attacking the basket, keep pressure on them. Don't stand out there and go, oh, I'm going to knock them out with a three. No, you're not. No, you're not. And also have on here, we had to play better perimeter defense, which we were, like I said, they scored 44 points simply because they could go do whatever they want, wherever they wanted to do it. That's why they were scoring so many points. Just whatever the hell they wanted to do. And then get back in transition D. We make a shot and we're jogging down court, pass. All of a sudden they got 2-on-1s. And we're struggling to get back, which is why we're fouling. Because you're not hustling to get back. You're too busy trying to look at me. I just made a shot instead of getting your butt back in transition. So the transition D was killing us. And you've got to get back for that. So that's what you started. So then it's 43-51 with 9 minutes to go. You bring Josh in for K Will, which I thought, hey, we weren't really scoring, weren't really doing a whole lot. We had 5 points at that point that we scored. You bring in back Josh, your second best player, to stop the run and be able to make shots. And then what you bring, it's 46-53. With 7 minutes to go, you bring Dort in. And the first thing you do is you run an out of bounds play for Dort, and he shoots a fadeaway three. I was like, are you kidding me? You bring him in the game, and the first thing he does, a 33% free three-point shooter, shoots a fadeaway three with a guy in his face. It, I just don't get it. The game is not that hard. How do you not? I mean, I'm sitting here watching. I don't watch them every day in practice. I'm just watching their games, and I can figure out who can do what where. And I'm not sitting there watching practice. I promise you, if I had game film, I could really break it down. But I don't want it to be that painful. That's too painful for me to watch. How these guys are out of position, how these guys are doing stuff that they're not capable of, how they're not playing within themselves, how they're not cutting to the basket. And once they start cutting to the basket, all of a sudden we're on runs. Then you can start making shots from three. But you got to get into the flow. And we don't do that. And all of a sudden, here's a wide open. You got guys shoot threes, crack. You shoot it in the crack. You shoot an air ball. You shoot it off the side. You hit it off the back of the rim. Missing the goal entirely. It's just hard to watch. But the lack of the defensive intensity was embarrassing. You're at home. These are must wins. You've got to be able to win these games. You've got to. And then it's 48-64. And you've got Josh, Dort, J Dub, Isaiah Joe, uh, J Dub, and let me see, who is this? I can't even read my own damn writing. And J Will. That's who you got in the game. And then what happens? We come down and you shoot 2 straight threes right off the bat. Brick. Then what do? We get back into the groove. We start attacking the basket, making shots. All of a sudden, what is it at the end of the half or at halftime? Here's the score at halftime. All of a sudden, you're down 5. You're down 5, and you've outscored them by 1 in the second quarter, and you held them to 27 points. You held them to 27 points. It's not hard. Play defense, move your feet at the end, but you got to have the right group in there that's willing to play defense. You got to be long. When you do have Kendricks Williams and you have Wiggins out there, they're long on the wings. So that's your 2 and 3. They can go out 2 and 3. And then you got to have some bigs in there. Sarge did a great job. And then you got to have J Will in there. You got to have that big body to rebound. And then you got to have either Isaiah Joe knocking down some shots or Josh when he's in aggressive mode. That's what you got to have in order to come back. And that's what you need. So at the end of the second quarter, I'm like, okay, at halftime, Kings up 71-66. The Thunder Kings are 8 for 19 from 3, 57% from the field with 22 rebounds and 28 pips. So you got to remember the first quarter, excuse me, I'm sorry about that. First quarter, uh, they were 6 for 10. So you had them 2 for 9 because what'd you do? You started defending the perimeter at the end of the second quarter. And all of a sudden you got back in the game because you're defending the perimeter. They were shooting 65% from the field. Now they're shooting 57 in the second quarter. Or you dropped it down. That's 8 whole points. That's just deciding you want to play defense and stop being embarrassed. You're at home. Rebounds, of course, they're right there at 22 each. Turnovers, they had 6, so we turned them over 5 times in that quarter. And then bench scoring, we came in, and that's simply because our bench decided that they wanted to step up and score. That's basically what happened for us to be able to do what we did right there. 33 points from the bench. Sarge was he was deadly. Then of course you had K. Will doing some damage, and then you also had Man and Wiggins scoring as well. So when you got the whole group in there, you're coming together as a team and you're playing defense. You're turning the opposing team over, which is why we lead the league in assists to turnover ratio. When we start turning them over, we're getting out in transition, we're making easy baskets, and we're getting into the flow of the game. That's how the Thunder got back into it and only are down 5 at halftime. So with that being said, I want to take this opportunity to thank the guys who are sponsoring the show, Collaborative Logic. Appreciate everything they do for us as far as making the show run. If you have any needs for a website design or if you need software written for your office to make it run more smoother, they are definitely the people to contact. SRB, if you have any engineering, surveying, or planning, Mark Long is my guy over there. They love, love, love to be behind the scenes on all the things that are construction related. Oak Grove Trucking, when you got a bunch of stuff that you're doing some construction, if you're road work or whatever, hey, hit my boy up, Jose over at Oak Grove Trucking. And then Greg and Max Nafee sponsoring me as they always do in everything that I do. I appreciate their support in everything we're doing. YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you can go in and see Joe Horn, the Horn Man, or Nathan Taylor, Carson Wright. You know why? Because they are the friendly bank and they are a personal bank and they prefer that you come in so they can meet you face to face because they are a uh, personal bank. And they, of course, they are an equal housing lender and definitely a member of the FDIC. And we also appreciate their sponsorships for us to do remote live streams for Black, minority, and women-owned businesses. And without those guys, we would not be in our remotes that we've done at the Boot, that we've done at Cat's Tavern, that we've done at George's Happy Hog or Cutting Up Barbershop and Salon. And then we also have a couple other places that we'll be going. Now remember, I have the number for Skype on the thing so you can go in. If you have any questions, you can hit me up on Skype. Just text the question and it'll pop up on my screen right here and I can see it. And I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions at that point. If you have, just text me. And then also, if you text your name, I'll know who it is. If not, it'll just pop up with the question and I can answer it if you have any questions about the Thunder, about what's going on right now. So anyway, starting the third quarter, the Thunder start out, of course, with our starting lineup. And, it's so funny is Nick Gallo was in, bless his heart, to sub in for as our play-by-play guy. And so Andrew Wiggins who was it? It was J-Dub makes a move and it's called Nick a scoop. Okay? When a guy comes in and he extends, if he's on the left-hand side and he extends his right hand, as underneath is called a scoop. If he's on the other side and he uses left, it's called a scoop. Okay, it's not that difficult. It's my fourth graders can do it. I mean, it's not hard. I teach that move. It's really, really easy, and it's a great move when you go into the basket because the guy's right there and you extend on him, he's behind you. Because the first rule of basketball is ball you man. And once you understand the first rule of basketball is ball you man, makes life a lot easier. But anyway, Nick, it's called a scoop move. Okay. Uh, anyway, just thought I'd throw that in there. And anyway, the second thing the Thunder have to do is stop fouling. I don't know what the deal is. When we were making the run, we were being physical without reaching, moving your feet, getting in front of them, everybody coming over and helping. And then all of a sudden, here we go, started reaching again. Okay? And then just missed opportunity after missed opportunity. We were down 72-77 with 9 minutes to go. And just missed opportunity after missed opportunity after missed opportunity. And it's just frustrating because as guys, you're down 5. You've gotten all the way back in the game. You've gained momentum. And then all of a sudden, here you go. Just miss it. Can't make a shot. Can't make a shot. Then all of a sudden, we do another. Here's another foul. Another foul. And then Dort, out of control once again. So all of a sudden, you're now down 72-86. 72-86. And they go on a 13-0 run. And it's just simply because the Thunder, I mean, somebody I don't understand with the coaching staff. There's no way in hell you're watching film and don't see this boy out of control. There's no way. There's no way you cannot see him being out of control. But for whatever reason, you guys don't want to step up and put him in his place. For whatever reason that is. Maybe you want him doing that way. Maybe you want to turn him into something that he's not capable of doing. I've been watching it for a year and a half. He's not capable of taking it off the dribble and trying to score at the basket. He's not capable of it. In spots where there's a wide open lane and getting a layup, yes. But when he's got to navigate through traffic and try to do a spin move or a left-handed shot or something, no, he's not capable of doing that. Against a good defensive player, he's not. He's not a scorer. That's what scorers do. Scorers score. Shooters shoot. And when you got somebody who's really neither, but trying to be both, and you're letting him, you're going to be in trouble. And that's what happens to the Thunder over and over, which is another reason why finally they set him at the end of the game and said, here, come sit down. You can't play him. You can't play him. It's just like 2 for 1 in the second quarter, right before half. What are you doing? You're out of control. You're out of control. It's just frustrating to me. It really is. It's hard for me to watch as a person who watches basketball, who understands the game and understands the intricacies of how the game is. It's the little stuff. It's not big stuff. It's little things that I see. That's why I hate sitting down low. I can't see the game. That's why I like being up at club level with my guy Randy Wright of YMB. He and I sit up there, and my guy Mark Long as well. We can sit up there and watch. You can see what's going on. You see the little intricacies of how somebody's not moving or what they're doing. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Do you not see that? It's like tonight they were throwing a lob. Sabonis had who was it? I want to say he had Sarge on. He had him hooked for the lob pass, and Dort is right there in the lane, and he waited until Sabonis caught the pass before he slid over. How in the hell do you not see that coming? You know, as soon as that ball releases his hand, you should have been over there for the steal, because Sabonis didn't see you. Anyway, at 72-86, they bring in man for K. Will. And you got you got man, K. Will, Sarge, Robinson, Earl, and Wiggins in the game. And what do? You come down and you got to make shots. You got to make shots. You're down. And what do? We made some shots. But we went 4 straight possessions, okay? 4 straight possessions. When we went on a 17-2 run, but we made 4 straight possessions that the game was 3 points. And you went 4 straight possessions and you took horrible shots every time. Guys can't finish at the basket. It's like when you try to do more than you're capable of, when you don't play within yourself, as I've said, what are my keys to the game? Get off to a good start in the quarters. Play within yourself. And then finish down the stretch of the half of each quarter. And then you got to understand what you're supposed to be doing. You can't do that. I mean, guys, it's not difficult. But you got to understand what your limitations are. What is your game? What are you capable of and not capable of? Whatever your game is, it's like J-Dub took some ill-advised threes. I'm like, why are you shooting a three from 3 feet behind the line? Why are you not attacking the basket? Pull up and shoot a mid-range. They can't stop you. You got Dellavedova on you. And you're shooting a three? It's crazy. I just don't understand the Thunder. I don't understand their mentality. I just don't really get it. It's just frustrating as hell to me. So at the end of the third quarter, the Thunder are now down 6, 93-87. Remember, we were down 14. Once again, because of the lineups, you've got to fight back in. And, 6 to 8 points a game he costs us. So all of a sudden, you're down 93-87. You were down 5 at the end at half, down 6 at the end of the first quarter, down 5 at half, and then now down 6 going into the fourth. The Kings now are 10 for 33 from three, and 50% from the field. And what were they at halftime? At halftime, the Kings were 8 of 19, so they were 2 of 14 from three. Man, I mean, you're playing great defense at the end. That's how we got back in the game. Just not reaching, moving your feet. Every time we stopped reaching and move our feet, we made a run every single time. They were shooting 57%. Remember, 65% first quarter, 57% at half, and we got it all the way down to 50 after three quarters. So, I mean, just right there. And then, of course, the Thunder were 7 for 19 for three. So they were 2 for 7 for the second half, for the third quarter. And the problem is, of the 5 missed shots, 3 of them were terrible attempts. I mean, it's like, what are you doing? And it's like, I don't mind you shoot threes. It's when you shoot them and where you are shooting them, and what part of the game is it? That's what it takes, is where you shooting them and when. Those are the keys. I don't care if you're shooting them, but it's where and when. The Kings 40 rebounds, 42 points in the paint, 11 turnovers now. The Thunder 42% from the field, 34 rebounds, 44 pips. I like that. I like the way that just sounds, pips. I like the way that sounds when I do that, pips. But the Thunder 7 for 19. So we were 2 for 7, like I said, from three. And then bench scoring, the Thunder 43-21, just killing them with scoring off the bench. Killing them. Love what we were doing right there. Love what I saw from the Thunder and what the little bitty things we're doing. So going into the fourth quarter, we're down 6, like I said, and we're making a little run. We went on a nice run there at the end. So now all of a sudden, here you go. You start Wiggins, J-Dub, Isaiah Joe, K-Will, and Sarge. Not a bad start, right? Not a bad start. And then what? We go off and J-Dub goes to does a scoop move, except he puts a spin on it. And I tell my kids all day, when you go to there's no spin on a scoop. It's just up. You're not twisting. You're not doing anything. You're just pushing the ball up. Because you're long. He's got long arms. Using his length. You just push it up. There's no spin on the ball whatsoever. He puts spin on it. Rolls out. So, got to finish at the end. And then it's just missed opportunity. We're down 72-77. Missed opportunity after missed opportunity after missed opportunity. You got to finish. What do I say? Make plays down the stretch. That was part of one of my keys to the game. Make plays down the stretch. And I talked a little bit about that today on the Unpopular Hour when I was talking about making plays down the stretch, how that cost us against Utah. Didn't make plays down the stretch, which we had SGA in there. He normally makes plays down the stretch. He didn't. So we have nobody in there now. He's gone. So it's who's going to make plays? Josh? J-Dub? Who's going to make plays? It's got to be one of y'all to make plays down the stretch. Neither one of them did. But anyway, all of a sudden we get another foul. And, excuse me. And then all of a sudden, here we are shooting threes again. Just frustrating as hell. Just frustrating as hell. Then all of a sudden, it's 93-98. You got Josh, Dort, Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, and Robinson Earl in there. Once again, K. Will's not off the bench. You're playing Robinson Earl. Now, clearly you have more trust in Robinson Earl than you do J Will, which you played him down the stretch, and he's played magnificent down the stretch in games before. Are you trying to say it's a matchup? Well, it can't be too big of a matchup because Robinson Earl cannot handle Sabonis. Couldn't. And I like Robinson Earl. He's one of my favorite guys, but he has not been able to do what he needs to do. Can't play him right now. He's just not there. So you're just going to continue to play him until you figure he's going to make that change, huh? Instead of you got a young guy who's developing, play him. Play him. Here's the time to do it right now. Give him the confidence that you have confidence going in the stretch instead of sitting him on the bench when it comes down to it in crunch time. Then you play him other times. And I understand it's about the flow of the game. I get that 100%. But when Robinson Earl is not knocking, he's shooting three after three after three and missing. And we're going to go over the box score here in a second. And then, but I'm just, when you're 10 for 31 from three and you just continue to shoot them, it's just frustrating. Because what happened? They go on a 12-2 run. It's 98-98. We tie it all up with 4 minutes or 8 minutes 50 that's tied up. They go on a 12-2 run. Game's over. Because we're just wanting to shoot threes. All of a sudden, 92-92, 98-98. Tied up. Why? You got back in the game by attacking the basket, shooting a three in transition. All of a sudden, three after three after three. And remember what I've always said. If they make a three, come down and make a two. That's only 1 point difference. If they come down and make another three, you get another basket. You're down two. If you shoot it, they make a three, you miss a three, and you miss another, and they make another three, and you miss a three, you're down six instead of down two. Understand, just because they make a three don't mean you have to come down and shoot one. And when SJ's in the game, he comes down and gets a two. That's a 1 point swing. A 2 point swing. Instead of making him down three, you're only down one. It's a 2 point swing. But of course, he's not there. Then Josh is not doing whatever he did. We go over the stats tonight, he had a horrible night. He just wasn't there. But once again, he did not play Josh and Dort down the stretch. The last 5 minutes of the game, neither one were in the game. Because Josh clearly was not engaged and Dort was out of control. Now, if this is not a way to put Dort where he needs to go, I don't know what is. Perfect opportunity right now to put him where he needs to be and put him in place and get him to understand this is what you need out of him. So, Thunder in the game, 123-117 loss, now dropping to 28-33. Remember, we were ninth in the West at the All-Star break at 28-29. We are now 28-33, losing four straight. The Kings are now 36-25 with a strong hold on number three position. Number three position in the NBA West standings. Kings end up 15 for 42, 52%, 51 rebounds, 50 pips, 20 turnovers. The Thunder 11 for 35. Remember, we were 10 for 31, and we went 1 for 4 down the stretch. 98-98. 1 for 4 down the stretch. Three horrible decisions that cost us. 43% from the field, 42 rebounds, 62 pips, 10 turnovers, and Oklahoma City outscored them 57-24. Great job by the bench today. So when we compare, it's one of my favorite things to do is compare the first half to the second half so you can kind of get a good feel for what was going on. The Kings were 8 for 19 at halftime, ended up 15 for 42. So they were 7 for 23 the second half. 7 for 23. And you lose the game. 7 for 23, you should have won that game. But 98 all, you did not do what down the stretch? Make plays. Thunder was 7 for 19 at half, ended up 11 for 35. So the Thunder were 4 for 16 the second half. 4 for 16. And threes that just coming down jacking them. I don't understand why they don't put them into place. They don't sit them down and say, look, you got to get a 2 here. This is when you can't be up just jacking up threes. You got to get 2s. Bench scoring, you can see with they only scored 5 points. in the second half of the bench, where the Thunder had 24 points on the bench. Box scoring, which is what to me made all the difference right here when you look at the box scoring for the Thunder. Jay Will, in 17 minutes, had 6 points and 3 rebounds. 17 minutes. You play him 20 something minutes, he gets 16 rebounds. You play him 17, 13, 17 minutes, he's just not as effective. You got to keep him on the court. J Dub, 33 minutes. He had 27 points, 9 for 16, and 1 for 3 for 3 with 5 rebounds and 8 assists. A really good game, except that his numbers are actually
I'm your glitchy Wi-Fi, which means you're smart home. This is so smart.
Which of course messed you up because he actually did not have a good a game as you think he did. He really didn't. He made some mistakes down the stretch and missed some key shots. But overall, 9 for 16 is good. Isaiah Joe played 22 minutes, only 8 points. Remember, he had 24 the other night. They figured out how to slow him down. 3 for 5 from the field, 2 for 4, and of course, Mike Brown was the architect of Golden State's defense, and you can say he really knows how to shut people down and cut off the D. Josh Giddey tonight, which is what I was talking about, he only played 19 minutes. Josh usually plays 36 to 38 minutes. He played half that tonight. 8 points, 4 for 10, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Josh just wasn't there mentally. He just wasn't. And the coaching staff did not play him. They could see Josh when he's not engaged and not attacking the basket. But of course, he did get 3 fouls early, so that kind of got him out of his rhythm. He got three fouls early in the first quarter, which really killed him. But let me see. He had 3 first fouls. He didn't pick up any in the second half. So he started out with 3 quick ones, and that was it. Lou Dort only 21 minutes tonight, but he took 14 shots in 21 minutes. 14 shots in 21 minutes. Second most on the team behind J Dub. He had the most the other night, 17. It's just, 21 minutes. He shouldn't have played that long. And you've got to put him in his place. If we're going to succeed and we're going to win, as I've said, I started talking about this last year when I watched the Thunder start to make that jump. Josh has to be the number 2 scorer at 20-something points a game. He can't be having games where he's got 8. SGA has to be 27, 28. He doesn't have to score 30, but he needs to be around that mark. Dort needs to be 11 points on 8 to 10 shots is the maximum he should ever shoot. 2 for 5 from 3, just horrible threes that he took that he missed. Sarge, 27 minutes, played really good. 21 points in 27 minutes, 7 for 11, 2 for 6, 8 rebounds. Loved what he was doing tonight. I mean, he was in full attack mode, being very aggressive. Loved everything that I saw out of him tonight. Very, very impressed with his play. That's kind of what he played that first game that we saw him, and then after that he disappeared for 3 games. So maybe he's somewhere in between what we saw that game and this game and the other games that he played. So he's somewhere in between, or maybe it's who he's playing with, or whatever, or trying to get involved. I don't know, but we got to figure out how to get him where he stays more engaged. Jeremiah Robinson Earl, 21 points, 1 for 6, 5 points, 1 for 5. He's just killing us. And I love Jeremiah. He's one of my favorite guys. But he come back from the injury. He's just not the same guy. He's just not. And he is just absolutely killing us. And I just don't know why they continue to play him more than they play Jay Williams. Jeremiah Robinson should be 12, 13 minutes a game. And Jay Will should be at about 25 to 28. That's where he should be. But, playing him 13, 17 minutes and playing him more, it's just not working. Trey Mann, Kendrick Williams, 29 minutes, 11 points. Not a bad night, 5 for 9, 0 for 2, 4 rebounds, 3 turnovers. But he made some plays, but he's got to finish at the rim. He made a great steal, should have been an and one, and he missed. We've got to score right there. That makes all the difference in the world. It ties the score up. Instead, he went 1 for 2. Trey Mann, 21 minutes, 3 for 9, 1 for 3. Not bad at all. Had a pretty good night, I think, overall. Overall, he had a pretty good night. I can't complain about Trey except that I want him to shoot closer to the damn basket. Quit shooting from 30 foot past the 3 line. I just don't. He's just he's not effective. His shoulders aren't square to the basket. It's just very frustrating to watch when he's doing that. Wiggins played 29 minutes, 4 for 10, 2 for 4, with 10 points. 4 for 10 from the field, 2 for 4 from three with 6 rebounds. Wiggins played really good. I mean, he's long, he plays well, but you got to play him more. He should be playing about this amount of time. He should be playing 25 minutes a game. To me, it's really easy. Uh, Jay Will should be playing 25 to 27 minutes. J Dub should be playing right where he's playing. Isaiah Joe should be around 13 to 15, somewhere around there. Josh Giddey should be his normal 30 something plus. Lou Dort should be at 30 something plus as long as he's not shooting as much as he's shooting. But he's the only reason why he's doing that because uh, SGA is not in the game and he feels like he's got to pick up the slack because he's thinking better of himself than what he can really accomplish. Saric shouldn't be that high. He should be around 12, 13, 14 minutes a game. Jeremy Robinson Earl should be about 10, 12 minutes a game instead of 21. Kendrick Williams should not be at 29. He should be around 18, 20, something like that. Terrence Mann, 10 to 12, 13 minutes a game. And Wiggins should be around 20 something plus. And when I look at him, I think if you keep them at those amount of minutes and you cut it down and you keep that group together and you have them play, especially if SJ is coming back. And who knows, if the longer he stays out, the worse it's going to be. But we've got the Lakers tomorrow on Wednesday night, which everybody's got to be there for that. And then we have huge, huge, huge games against Utah Jazz on Friday. I believe it was Friday, Sunday. Yeah, I think we play Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Those are huge, huge games. Huge games. And the Lakers, of course, laid an egg tonight, I believe. I haven't checked the score, but I know they weren't doing well. A bunch of turnovers. So the Thunder have got to win this tomorrow because LeBron's out. AD, I don't know if he's going to play on a back-to-back night. But if he played bad tonight, he'll probably play great against the Thunder tomorrow night. But we've got to get a win in here. So I'm assuming SJ is going to be held out until Utah. Because that's really Utah and the Lakers. Those are the wins. Those are the teams down there where we are fighting for position. And when you pull up the West, and I'll pull this up real quick, the West standings, you can see that we're right down there where the Utah Jazz is 31-31. We're at 28. Lakers at 29. So if we can get 2 wins from the Jazz, all of a sudden we're at 30 and they're at 31. And you're right there back in the mix of it again. And you can beat the Lakers and make that, 31 wins, 31 and 32. Then all of a sudden you're back up in the mix, considering hopefully if the Trailblazers and the Pelicans are treating us good by getting some L's. We need that to happen. So that being said, I hope everybody enjoyed this breakdown of this post-game analysis show for the Thunder. You know I am. I'm very open and honest. I'm very straight. I love our team. I love the fact we have an NBA team. I love watching the Thunder. But at the same time, I am going to give a breakdown of how things are. I'm not going to be over here. I'm not going to be like Michael Cage and be a homer. I'm not doing that. When we screw up, we screw up. But one thing I know about him is he doesn't break down. When they ask him questions, he can't break down the game. I'm like, dude, he just tell him it's a simple. The questions are simple, but you got to be able to have enough insight to break down the game even further, and he doesn't. So what do? I come on here and answer the questions that he can. What I'm going to start doing is when they ask him questions and he doesn't break it down, I'm going to write down those questions, and then I'm going to break it down on the post-game analysis show. So when there's a question asked, it's not answered on the show or answered on live on air, I'm going to answer the question. Like, for example, the other day when they said, why are they double teaming SGA? And he blah, blah, blah. Oh, to take the ball out of his hands to make somebody else beat him. That's why they do it. Why do we do it? Take the ball out of that guy's hand, make somebody else beat us. That's the answer. But he's like, oh, well, they got to pick their poison. No, they're picking their poison. They're saying, we know SGA can beat us, so we're going to make somebody else do it. That's why they're double teaming. That's why SGA burns so much energy. He understands that, and so he split the double team 90% of the time when he sees it coming, and he's got enough room to do so. So that's how that works. But of course, he didn't answer the question. So I'm gonna start doing that. So that being said, hope everybody has a fantastic night, and everybody out there be safe. And thank you once again for supporting and watching After the Storm, your Oklahoma City post game Thunder